गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गन शॉट। गन शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। आज हम देखेंगे बियॉन्ड द PLA purges. The purges in PLA have been horrid. We keep hearing about them every second day. But what is the story behind these purges? That's what is of interest to all of us, right? We just heard that 4 days back, 5 days back, another senior PLA admiral got purged. Miao Hua. Miao Hua. Miao Hua. Whatever it is. Now, he's been placed under severe investigation for serious discipline violations. Normally, an admiral getting purged in China is of not much consequences. It doesn't matter. Because वहां तो रोज पर्ज होता रहता. But this guy was in the Central Military Commission. He was one amongst the Central Military Commission. And that is serious by any stretch of imagination. It's not a joke that you keep firing a guy from the Central Military Commission every second day. Right? Right. Incidentally, he is the 7th CMC member to be purged after Xi assumed power. He's not the first. Xi Jinping is pretty experienced on this. At this point of time, CMC has 1/3 of its 6 positions vacant. The CMC has normally 6 positions plus the chairman. 2 are missing or rather purged. After Li Shangfu, he didn't appoint anyone. And now, after Miao Hua, there's no one. Well, he might, that's a different story, but right now, 1/3 down, which is a big number in leadership. Okay, but where did this story start? If you go into PLA history, you go into Chinese history, you go into their way of doing things, purges in PLA have been normal. Every second day, you'll find a chap getting purged. Under Mao, it was very severe. It became a little less after Deng Xiaoping took over, but it didn't stop. But with Xi Jinping, there's a method. There's a method in this madness. Not that there was no method in the madness earlier, we didn't understand it. That method and that madness was something which was out of our focus. When Xi Jinping first took over as the president of China, he purged a whole lot of PLA generals because he wanted to control the PLA. Control of the PLA has always been very important for China and the Communist Party. Unlike other places, after the Central Communist Party Leadership Politburo, it is the Central Military Commission which is the highest. I'll put it this way. The first in hierarchy is the Standing Committee of the Central Politburo. So 7 chaps. Xi Jinping, Tsai Chi, Wang Hunyang, Li Chang, and 3-4 more. उसके नीचे आता है Central Military Commission, and then the Politburo, 25 members. When a president or the prime minister or whoever does not have enough power in the CPC and the Politburo, or he's not officially in power, he controls the government and the CPC through the army. This is history. Deng Xiaoping did it. When Deng Xiaoping retired, he didn't let go of his position in CMC. He controlled the army through the CMC and he controlled the party through that position. so that the party never deviated from what he wanted them to do till his death. Jiang Zemin did the same thing. But Hu Jintao didn't, because for some reason, the party took the decision of making Xi Jinping as the top shot in the Central Military Commission also. And the moment he took over, he just sacked all the generals left, right, and center, whom he felt not confident of, to regain power. And then came the theory that I am going to build the biggest military mission on earth, the best military mission on earth. And he started giving funds and he put those dates down. 27, the day the PLA was formed. And that's the centenary which is going to come up. 35, 49, all dates 49, the day when PRC came into existence. So on those dates, those important dates, he set milestones. And he promised in the 19th Congress that we will have the best military on earth. The most modern military on earth. But then things started unraveling. When did they start? It started when Nancy Pelosi in August 22 went to Taiwan. There was a lot of heat in the atmosphere at that time. There were suggestions to the extent that, look, send the Air Force and ensure that Nancy Pelosi's plane doesn't even land in Taiwan. Force it off. They said, even before Nancy Pelosi can land in Taiwan, fire something on Taiwan and upset Taiwan's apple cart. They couldn't do it, or they didn't do it, whichever way. And then, the moment Nancy Pelosi left Taiwan, 2 days after that, they carried out military drills where they fired missiles. That's this time. And the story starts, to my way of thinking, then. Right. So, this is interesting to know what happened then. Right. Because the entire story of whatever has happened from then to now is connected with this. This was which was promotionally put out at that point of time when PLA started their drills. Very impressive on the move. Took everyone by storm. Because such an exercise was never carried out or felt comfortable. Or done. They wanted to shock and awe. But here comes the pinch. You see this map? They fired missiles from 3 places into 3 designated areas, different kinds of missiles. And One set of missiles, really 5 missiles, landed here where I've shown the pointer. And this was in the Japanese waters. And they were not supposed to fire there, but they went there. Right? No one would have known about it. People wouldn't have known that they fired where they landed. In other places, none of us know whether they landed in the designated place or not. But the Japanese knew it because it fell in their waters. So what did the Japanese do? The Japanese, put across that these missiles were inaccurate. And when they put out that these missiles landed in their waters, it triggered a chain of events. But let me jump a bit. This happened in August. In October, Zhang Yuxia was reappointed to the Central Military Commission in October 22 during the 20th Party Congress. He was 71 or 70 at that time, past the age to be on the CMC. He was to be retired. But he was Xi Jinping's good friend, school friend. They knew each other from then. He had a lot of experience in Vietnam, everything. So he said, no, I can't go without you in the CMC. So he was reappointed. But let me get back to this trigger and the chain of events. Now, if you see this is Taiwan, and this is a small island. It's called Yonaguni. Yonaguni. Yonaguni is a Japanese island. It's just 100 kilometers away from Taiwan. And where the star is where these missiles landed. Okay. After that, the first thing Japan did, of course, this happened a little later. In January 23, they deployed 80 missiles here. Interesting. What is the significance? The significance was that these missiles or the AD systems on Yonaguni could shoot down incoming missiles if they thought they were coming towards them. So Taiwan got AD support, air defense support from Japan. So it put a huge spoke in Xi Jinping's plan to capture Taiwan. Just this event that these missiles fell somewhere. Okay? And by then, it was very clear to him internally that PLA has botched it up. And probably by then, internal inquiries had started. And I'm talking of August. And this reporting actually came out in January. Right? And that was the, thing which no one expected. That Japan will go to town with a flag to say, look, you're on the wrong side. Red carded. And then Xi Jinping said, yeah, what happened? So a set of events happened. He realized that his generals had botched it up. Side by side, it came to light that his security system was compromised. Probably his finance minister, Ken Jan, was compromised. So he sacked him. And he started putting in new rules by June for the PLA. And these rules were such which were never there before. It put a lot of strictures on how PLA generals and leaders could act in public and in private. It went to the extent of saying whom they could interact with or not. In July, immediately after that, after putting the strictures, he sacked 2 PLA generals. We'll come to it, the top 2 chaps. The commander and the deputy commander or the commissioner of the PLA-RF, he sacked. He simultaneously brought all the top brass after giving those new rules to Beijing and told them this is what you can do and not do. There's a sequence. The botch up. Now, what happened in that botch up? I mean, the botch up was there. How Xi Jinping perceived it or not, we don't know. But one thing is very clear. That first firing botched up a lot of Chinese plans. Everyone came to know that these missiles won't be accurate. And Japanese put air defense missiles. And why am I saying this botch up? After that, there were 3 more exercises. China never fired missiles around Taiwan. They fired in Bohai Sea, they fired in, near Shenzhen, all that. But they never fired around Taiwan. They kept going around Taiwan with aircraft, with submarines, all that, but not firing. They never repeated firing after that. By August 23, Li Shangfu was on the chopping block. After all, he was the prime motor or the prime motivator or the sutradhar of the PLA-RF. In fact, at one point of time, Li Shangfu had been sanctioned by USA for his activities. So all these 3, you see now the PLA-RF under focus. And this has nothing to do with their loyalty. This has everything to do with their professional incompetence and corruption. That's the point. Now we all know that Xi Jinping laid a lot of emphasis on the PLA-RF. And what he probably found inside shook him up. And he sacked 9 PLA generals. It is not only in the PLA-RF, but in the entire operation around Taiwan, a lot of snafus must have happened. So he sacked a lot of people. These 9 PLA generals are not from PLA-RF. I'll just tell you who all. But simultaneously, he did something else. He sacked state of SOEs, state-owned enterprises, executives, engineers, and scientists of aerospace industry. That's the point. All this is happening by December. It's taken a whole year for him, but he's done it. Right? Who are these 9 PLA generals who are sacked? 2 oversaw satellite launches and manned space stations. SSF. Something happened in this period of 1 year. And this goal which he did and this churn which he did started sending people helter-skelter. Rumblings within the PLA had started. And remember, 23 is the time when their economy was decidedly going down. So economy going down, rumblings within the PLA-RF under fire. Definitely the Taiwan incident had gone bad. So faith and the kinship of, the aura of Xi Jinping had faded probably. And all the generals probably knew that Xi Jinping was going to fail. And Xi Jinping started losing faith in his generals in 23. So he sacks 9 by December 23. Now this is also almost 1 year back. 2 oversaw satellite and manned space missions. Okay, let me show you fully. 1 was instrumental in expanding China's footprint in the South China Sea. So he was useless. He can't do the Taiwan option. Out. Because by end of last year, it was very clear that the Taiwan option was not feasible. So he's out. Then someone else, a PLARF commander involved in China's nuclear policy, he was also thrown out. Everybody, chalo tum. 5 were past or serving top commanders of PLARF. So PLA, you see this. And 2 of these had served in the Central Military Commission at some point of time earlier, who had retired, they were sacked. So you see this now emerging by end December, that chaps who were sacked were probably those who were incompetent, or those who were going against Xi Jinping, or who were, connected with PLARF. Right? What happens next? These are the SOE engineers, executives, and scientists. One was from Norinco, one was from China Aerospace and Technology Group, and China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation executive. Also a former chairman of shipbuilding industry. Now recently, I'll get back to this because I just bracketed it here. Last month, he sacked one Rocket Forces top research institute and member of Chinese Academy of Engineering. I'll come to that a little later. So here, the SOE executives of aerospace industry and one shipbuilding industry get the sack in December. So it's not just those generals, these chaps also get the sack. Now, this year what happened? And this is severe. 26th March 24, a missile was fired. A DF-17 was fired by somewhere off the coast. And it landed on the outskirts of Beijing. DF-17 hypersonic missile. We all think, oh, hypersonic missile, it should go and hit Korea or Japan or something. It was fired in the coast and it hit Beijing. Now, it was reported. I tried to get other reports of this incident, all scrubbed in the net. You will not find it in the net. At that time, I remember I even had a video of it, or saw the video of it. I tried to get hold of that video, scrubbed. All the guys who had tweeted about it, it's not there. Thank you. But one place I got it. Actually, it is there in 2 places in Twitter. You will not find it anywhere else. So I hung on to it. If you see the picture on the right, this is the, Kalbali after that attack. 50 people died. And this has spooked, in my opinion, Xi Jinping completely. Who knows whether this was a warning shot for Xi Jinping, or who knows whether it was fired for Xi Jinping, it went somewhere else. One thing for sure, it was not supposed to come to Beijing. It was supposed to go somewhere else. You can see it. It is by someone called Northrop Gundam. Okay. And this probably briefly got reported in Xinhua and then taken off. They said it is due to faulty GPS, all that. If it is due to faulty GPS, it's a horrendous situation. The DF-17 has faulty GPS. Okay. Then what happens in April? March, that happens. April, what happens? The chap on the right, the new Southern Theatre commander is changed. So far, there's no pata nahi hai iska. And a new guy is put in. Wu Yanan. Wu Yanan is Zhang Hujia's man. Okay. Are this in April? And sorry, this in March, this incident, and this in April connected. It's not a simple thing that a DF-17 goes and lands in Beijing, on the outskirts of Beijing. They're 250 kilometers outside. Either it's completely second rate, that means all those missiles are useless, or it hits the wrong target, whatever. So Xi Jinping will naturally be upset about his rockets, which he says will conquer the world. You see the sequence. That's the point. So here I say it showed 9 out of those 9 guys, 2 were from SSF, Strategic Support Force. These 2, the commander and the deputy commander, were sacked. Now, after that, what he does, in February, he does that. Okay. March, like I said, there's this DF-17 accident. And another PLA deputy commander, he is pushed off, Deng Xiaoping. No one knows where he is. Wang Zubin, the Southern Theatre commander, which I showed you earlier, he's also taken off in April. And in May, he breaks SSF to ISF. Why? And I had written about this then. No one believed me. That the SSF had become too strong for Xi Jinping. You have the int collection, you have space, you have cyber, everything in your hand. It's too big. There are a lot of analysis. Oh, ISF will do this, that, and all that. Information Security Force. But the actual thing is, he broke the SSF. So now you see the third strain coming in. You have PLA Rocket Force generals being sacked. You have generals who are not capable of handling the Southern Command sacked. And you have generals who are probably plotting against Xi Jinping, or whom he feels suspicious about being sacked. So all 3 streams by May 24 were on display. He is doing it logically for himself, Xi Jinping. That's the point. In June, he confirms sacking of Wei Fenghe, and Li Shangfu. So he's gone back in time. Wei Fenghe, who was the previous defense minister in his first term, or before the 20-party Congress, he's also sacked. They're confirmed. And then in by June, he's completely paranoid about the PLA. He had lost faith in the PLA. Now I can tell you with very clear, my clarity of thought. He had lost faith in the PLA. And he held a political work conference. Simultaneously, there's this Tianglong incident, which I'll show you. And the nuclear sub also went down. This is the time. June, if you horizontally connect all these, so we'll take each one of them and understand each. And the most important thing is this political work conference. So what happened there? Okay. Now, in this political conference, and this was widely publicized in all their media, whether it's PLA Daily or Xinhua or People's Daily or SCMP or even internationally. He did 2 things in this conference. One, he said PLA should be prepared for civil war. I don't know why he said that, but he said that. But more importantly, he stressed PLA's political loyalty. And where did this happen? We'll come to that. He took them all to a place called Yan'an. Yan'an was a old revolutionary base in China's Shaanxi province. And he addressed them there. Now, incidentally, near Yan'an, just somewhere next to Yan'an, is a place called Gutian. In Gutian, 10 years back, he took everyone there to motivate PLA to be with him and held this party. After 10 years, he holds this party now, meeting now. Okay? Why? There was a need to uphold the party's absolute leadership over the military. And he is seeking the political loyalty of the armed forces. So he took them all to the residences of Mao Zedong, Zhou Enlai, and Zhu Di in Yan'an. And he goes over their revolutionary struggles, कि उन्होंने क्या किया, नहीं किया, how they lived life and all that. That was the PLA headquarters. Okay. He led all the CMC members and heads of various departments and units to visit revolutionary relics at Wangjiaping. All those relics were of these old heroes. And he gave them a talk. Oh, incidentally, very interestingly, in the same place, Mao held a talk when he wanted to reign in the PLA in 47, 48. So they have this tradition. When the PLA is going out of control, take them to this place, which is almost a revolutionary base headquarters, and talk to them. Even in this, something very interesting happened. You look at this photograph. By the time this conference was held, the defense minister Dong Jun was put, as a defense minister, and Li Shangfu had been removed. Okay, all the PLA top commanders are there, but either Dong Jun, who's the present commander, who's the present defense minister, was not there. And these fellows in the front line are the CMC, Central Military Commission members. Okay, Xi Jinping, Zhang Yuxia, He Widong, okay, ये Miao है, Miao Hua. ये Miao Hua, who's been sacked now. And the 7th position or the 6th position was vacant from then. And this Dong Jun has also come under a cloud at this point of time. Okay, Dong Jun is also under a cloud, though they have said no, he's not under a cloud, everything is okay. But the rumor is he's also under a cloud, and this next chap, He Widong, he's also under a cloud. Okay, so all this is happening. This is ongoing. I've only pieced it together. If I sitting here in Chennai can piece all these things together, what will the real state internally be? Now, in the same month which this happened, 30th June, there was a static fire, and see this firing, what happened? There was a misfire. Okay, see this. This was never supposed to go up. It was a booster test, but it took off. It went long and it fell down back. वो तो बोल रहा हुआ. Okay, and this goes and falls on that same rocket base. Okay. Now, same in the period of May, June, this also happens. The nuclear submarine goes down. No one, not many people came to know of it. This came out much later. This reporting, if you see the Wall Street Journal and everyone reporting, it came out in somewhere in August. But if you go back into the time, all these happened simultaneously. See this? It happened simultaneously in June, May, June sometime. By then, now Xi Jinping is in complete, anger personified. So this happened, and this also happened. Now what happens? Let's see what happens now. Sorry. He starts a rectification process. Sun Jin-ming, the PLA-RF chief of staff, is sacked after this Tianglong incident. Accident हुआ, the number 2 gets sacked. अभी तक वो लापता है. Okay, that's not the only thing. After that, this has happened in July. Many things have happened. PLA has banned universities. Right? Xi Jinping was absent on PLA day. I don't know why he was absent, but he was absent. I will show you all that. Then there was this, of course, I showed you this ICBM test and nuclear sub sinking. And then, of course, Miao Hua now is sacked. Okay? August, all these universities which are connected with PLARF are banned. Okay? Then in August, he doesn't show up in the 97th birthday of PLA. 27 is their 100th year, centenary year, and he isn't there. Xi Jinping never misses an opportunity to be present whenever there's a PLA function. Or this is a small function for veterans, what I've shown you. Okay, these are two different. These are actually two different cuttings of the PLA daily. So in this, they say happy birthday, 97th birthday to PLA, but nowhere in this is say Xi Jinping is there, because Xi Jinping is missing from this celebration. And he's missing, but he's there everywhere else. And this was also the period around the third plenum when he was missing in action for some time. There was something seriously wrong at that time. Maybe he feared for life, all these things happening. Maybe he felt that PLA was, going to kill him. Now he's got full of doubts as to whether PLA will deliver, the rockets are good or not. So if you remember, 2 months back, there was a rocket firing. You think that rocket firing was for someone else? It was for Xi Jinping to tell him, why my rocket will go all the way there. How accurate it was, again, no one knows. So this headings like this come out. China's ICBM test, a sign PLA rocket force stands ready despite corruption scandals. Okay, so you find all these things coming out. Okay, and now this man is sacked. So I've come to this. I started, I've come back. Now, what is coming out of all this? That's the more important part. It's a sequence of events. Anyone with a bit of a brain will put all these dots together and a picture is coming out. So, let's understand the picture. This is the hierarchy of the CMC. Xi Jinping at the top. Zhang Yuxia is the first vice chairman. He Weidong is the second vice chairman. Then there are 3 in the next rung: Liu Junli, Miao Hua, who's been now sacked, and Zhang Shengmin. And in the last one is this fellow, He Hongyun. Now this chap is taken off. What was he? He was a director of the political works department. Very interesting. That this chap has no connection with whatever has happened in Southern Theatre or Northern Theatre or all that. He was controlling the politics. He was virtually the political commissar of the CMC. He's been sacked. So the first thing, there's something internally wrong. Political loyalty which Xi Jinping wanted in June is not there now, till now. We are 6 months down the line. That's why this chap is sacked. Now there are all kinds of rumors, whether he is Zhang Yuxia's man or He Widong's man. Or he was Zhang Yuxia's man to actually take out He Widong. He couldn't take out He Widong, so this chap has been knocked off. There are two theories. It depends on whom you are listening to understand what happened. Okay. Alongside this comes the news that 3 of the 5 theatre commanders have been replaced by Zhang Yuxia or his allies. So Zhang Yuxia by now is coming, and everyone knows there is some problem with Zhang Yuxia, between Zhang Yuxia and Xi Jinping. So he is forming a clique. He's got his own people. So was Miao Hua Zhang Yuxia's man, pointed against He Widong to take the other vice chairman out, or the other way around? Or was he a chap who was creating political disgruntlement whom Zhang Yuxia removed? All these stories are out. In fact, a Japanese friend of mine told me a lot of these. Right? So this tweet says, all people Xi arrested recently are Xi's proteges and most trusted men. Okay? And it is like Xi cutting off his own left and right arms. A plausible theory is Zhang Yuxia, the number 2 of PLA, is fighting against Xi for control of PLA. Or Xi's mental health is not well. Like I said, all games, everything is up in the air. Is this clique between, is this an internal fight between Zhang Yuxia and Xi Jinping? Or has it been another gang of generals who are plotting? Or is Xi Jinping going down? All these stories are out. Now, if you look at this is the honors board. Very interesting again. There are 3 ministers of defense: Wei Fenghe, Li Shangfu, and Dong Jun. Dong Jun is under the spotlight, the current fellow who's not yet a CMC member. Vice chairman of CMC, Zi Qiuliang, who was retired, he's been sacked. CMC deputy directors of equipment development, Rao Wenmin and Zhang Yulin, out. PLARF wholesale sacking, about 6-7 chaps. Then there was a former commander of PLARF till September 21, Ding Liahang, who will be sacked, or he is not lapata. PLA deputy commander Deng Xiping, down. Former Southern Theatre commander Wang Zhubin, lapata. He is now focused on plan, that is the Navy. Commander of Navy's South Fleet, Zhu Xingchun, out. Then there's a rumor that the former political commissioner and the current political commissioner are both under investigation. Then the strategic support force, their commander and deputy commander both sacked. You have a look at it, their honors board. People have been sacked from the CMC. People have been sacked from what shall I say, the strategic support force. People have been sacked from PLA. People have been sacked from PLA RF, and people have been sacked from PLA Navy. All. Okay. Is this all? Yes, it is all at this point of time. Maybe some more will get sacked in the next 4 or 5 days. So, what can I infer out of all this, which I have, Ram Kahani I have given you? Definitely, there are problems in the rocket force. So, repeatedly, you find that their rockets have misfired. They have operationally misfired and they have misfired in tests. So, how good are these rockets is a question mark. Okay. You had a nuclear sub sinking. Confirmed. Before that, in the past 1 year, there are new reports which came out where another submarine sank in the Taiwan Strait, and one probably sank a month before. It killed 55 people, all that. And long back, it was confirmed that there was a nuclear sub which had sunk. So far, not reported. So their submarine technology is question mark. Southern Theatre commanders and PLA Navy people being sacked, left, right, and center. Very clearly, their Taiwan option is on the rocks, because the news is that people have said, yeah, we can't do Taiwan the way you want us to do. We are not ready. We are not fit to do Taiwan operation. So they're getting the sack. So what might happen? He might get a set of yes men who will say, no, we'll go to Taiwan. And they go to Taiwan and they'll sink. And I'm hoping that happens, because that will finish off CPC completely. There is also a case of compromise by outsiders. And there's very clearly factions between Zhang Yuxia and Xi. And Xi now very clearly distrusts a lot of people in the PLA. And so many people who have been sacked are all leaders. Now, if you sack them and you brought new guys who are all yes men, are they professionally good? Is PLA professionally a good army, well-led army without leaders? Can you imagine a set of generals who are sacked left, right, and centers, and you feel that tremors won't be felt down below? I'm a general. I still know a whole lot of people down in the army. A lot of my youngsters are today, have risen to, high ranks. If tomorrow I'm sacked and publicly court-martialed or whatever, or proceeded against by law, the normal logic is everyone down the chain will be investigated. If everyone is investigated, what will be the morale? So think of the morale of the PLA. It will be down in the boots. You think they'll go and come and fight against India? You think they'll go and fight against Taiwan or Japan or anyone? My left foot. And without all these leaders at the top to give them good advice and take good command decisions, you have a set of yes men who will do Xi Jinping's bidding. You think this PLA will succeed? You think this PLA will succeed with all these corruption scandals and procurement? And see the performance. After all, in the past 1 year, we've also fired missiles. We've also, built submarines. We've also done a lot of things. We might be slow, whatever, but none of it has gone down. One odd failure will happen, but not so many that you fire a missile in the sea, it goes to Beijing. Was that an assassination attempt? Now let's talk of Zhang Yuxia. He's coming out to be an interesting guy. He's 72 years old today. Okay. He understands this relationship between the monarch and his subjects. If one chap rise, all rise. If that chap who's rising falls, all fall. So he's playing a double game. He is keeping Xi Jinping on top so that no one falls below. But he's also in keeping Xi Jinping in a state of confusion. There's some objection to his power, opposition to his power. In one way, people say he's determined to protect Xi Jinping, and he's deeply trusted by Xi Jinping because they're school buddies. They grew up together. And there's also this report that Zhang Yuxia wants to get rid of He Widong, the other vice chairman. And Miao Hua was only a fall guy. And he is the one who either assists in purging or purges all military leaders who are dissatisfied with Xi Jinping. Or he's doing it at Xi Jinping's behest. So he is playing a double game. One thing for sure, Zhang Yuxia is actively involved in the extensive purges within the PLA. And at some level, he is also directly challenging Xi Jinping's authority. So Xi Jinping might not be fully in control, okay, of the entire situation. So this is what I had to tell all of you today. I hope you liked what I had to say. I hope you found this logic okay. At the end, I'll say the PLA is a big force, but is it a capable force is a question mark. Because a force without leadership, without proper equipment, without good motivation cannot be a good force. And it is my conviction that PLA is not a fighting force as yet. And that is why, unlike America, which deploys its armed forces all over the world, PLA is not deployed outside. It is just kept inside. They are now trying to deploy PLA in Gwadar. Let us see how it comes out with Pakistan. Because Pakistan, like I told you yesterday, whatever you say, whatever they have or don't have, or all their problems and all, the Pakistan armed forces are a tough lot. So these chaps are going to be mixed with the tough lot to fight. Okay, so this is the story of PLA. So that will dictate how things will happen in Pakistan. It's not only in China, but in Pakistan. But at the same time, if you look at China purely, there is some instability. Because obviously from all this you can make out Xi Jinping is kept under reins. And the PLA is not confident of going into Taiwan. That's why these days you don't see people talking of Taiwan option. Right? So this is my view. I would welcome views from all of you. We can discuss it. And you can please send it abroad to whomever you want. And let's get views of outsiders on what I have said. Maybe they can add. Let me see. And if you have liked this video, please like it, press the thumbs up button. And if you're seeing me for the first time, do subscribe to Gunner Shot. And I'll be honored if you people become members. Right? It'll be very great. Like I told you, membership for me is a matter of giving something to some people who have very little. All membership money will go to them.